From fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Casino Secrets with Vegas Vic and Ziggy.
You had girls when you wanted them?
Well, that's a different category.
Okay.
But let's not get into.
All right. Well.
But it was a different time. You know, it's not. Is it possible today? Well, yes, it's still possible today.
Well, there are high rollers and there are whales today.
But back then, you know, you didn't have to have a card and you didn't have to play required number of hours per day, right? There was a time when if you walked into casinos, you set up at a table, you put $10,000 on the table, the casino manager would come down and say, "Thank you very hi, my name is so-and-so, how are you, you know, would you like to stay in here for anything you need, here it is."
Oh, wow.
So this was a lot more possible then. There were casino hosts that you used to know, and those were be able to write you columns. You know, and there were many things that we did in order to enhance our status. We would do coin runs. You know, and that is, you would buy a rack of coins from one side of the casino, go cash it in the other, and you boost your.
I've heard of that trick. I've heard of that trick.
You know,
yeah.
So there were ways you could game the system a little bit. So you know, lots of things were possible that are no longer possible today. And of course, I am very much older now, and I don't do that very much anymore. So, historically speaking, I would say yes. Currently, I would say I'm very happily semi-retired.
So, in all this time, this goes right into the next question.
Yes.
In all this time of you being a high roller,
yeah.
Have you ever been caught card counting?
Very, very good point. Now, the short answer to that is no. However, let me give you two examples. What happened to me? I was playing at the Old Sands. Now, I don't know if people remember it. If you've ever seen the movie Ocean's 11, the old one with Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack.
I didn't see the old one. I still need to.
Yeah. Well, if you can, you know, rent a DVD or you know stream it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a great movie, and you see the Old Sands Casino there. You know? So that's the casino that I used to play at a lot, and they had a main blackjack pit right next to the Copa room, where they used to perform and all that stuff. And so I would go there, and I was playing there a lot. I was playing at the Stardust, I was playing at the Riviera, I was playing at the Sands, a lot of these casinos. And so one time, after being at the Sands quite frequently and having been known to be a player there, after a while I sat down at the $100 blackjack table, and it was a single dealt handheld blackjack game.
Okay.
And at that time, they still dealt the game mostly almost all the way to the last card.
Right.
So basically, if you knew anything about a simple card counting system, a high-low count, and so forth. And at the time, I learned to count a six-deck shoe, and I was able to do a high-low count with a running true count and a side count of aces and fives. So it took a long time to learn. Was not particularly that skilled in memorizing it, but I spent about a year learning it, and I did.
Okay.
So I was playing over there, and I noticed after a couple of hands that this is what happened. I put a black $100 chip in the circle. The guy would shuffle the deck, deal me one hand, right, and I would make the next bet.
Right.
The pit boss would change the dealer. They would change the cards, shuffle, deal me one hand.
Right.
I would put in the next bet. The pit boss would change the dealer, change the deck, shuffle and deal me one hand. I got the hint. What they were doing is they were telling me, "Hey, bud, you know, we're not going to throw you out because we're not sure, but."
Right.
You know, if you want to play here, this is the way it's going to go.
Okay.
And so I got the hint and I left. Now, there's another part to this story. Shortly thereafter, I started what became my consulting business. And the way that I started is I got a call from the El Dorado Casino in Reno. And they asked me to come up to Reno and become their consultant and find out if they had exposure to card counters on their blackjack tables. And so what that did is it turned it around for me, because I then found out that I could make a lot more money being a consultant to the casino industry than from actually being the nemesis.
Got it.
And so that kind of translated from, that was about 15 years or so later, and I slowly translated, basically my career from playing into consulting, and then later into writing books about it.
Okay.
So what was the next question?
Next question. Okay. The tips that we've been giving tonight,
Yeah.
are they good for basically any casino? And let's say any casino anywhere in the world.
Yes and no. Mostly the reason, everything that I'm telling you is applicable to casinos in the United States. And the reason for that is because casinos in the United States are highly regulated, and none of the multi-billion-dollar corporations that own most of the casinos will ever risk their gaming license to try to cheat you out of a few bucks.
Okay.
So casinos in the United States are super safe. Now, outside of the United States,
What if you went to Macau?
well, if you go to Macau, then you're under Chinese rule.
Right.
Now, I cannot say, and I will not get into a political discussion, but what I will say is that outside of the United States, the local jurisdictions and approval processes are different in every country and every place you go.
Okay.
So if you go there and you go to play there, the first thing you ought to do is to do a little bit of homework and find out how they approve their games, how they supervise their games. Have there been any reports of any kind of underhanded, shady dealings and so forth? Go onto the internet, Google the casino, Google the country, find out the regulatory process.
Okay.
And that will help you a lot. Now, this much said, there are major centers in the United States, like Singapore, which is owned by the Sands Corporation, in Macau, which is owned by, a lot of it by Steve Wynn, and some of it by Sheldon Adelson too. Major international operators. I would suggest that those are pretty damn safe, because they would really not want to anger their U.S.-based investors.
Got it.
You know,
Okay.
and have problems with the SEC and so forth. Now, that's not to say that they don't have those problems. They do. They've been all fighting lawsuits. But generally speaking, from the perspective of you as a player, the strategies that I have described would be applicable to United States casinos and to the major corporations that own these casinos in other jurisdictions like the ones I mentioned.
Okay. Okay.
What was the next question?
All right. Are there any tips of card counting in your books? Have you written any books on card counting?
Oh yes, yeah. My book, Powerful Profits from Blackjack, which has been updated as a 2015 ebook. I list all of the major card counting strategies: the high-low system, the true count, the side count of aces and fives, and all those. I go all the way to Edward Thorp's Beat the Dealer, which was the first attempt at the card counting system, keeping a track of high cards. And so all of those are outlined in great detail there, as well as several methods that I have devised in order to be able to play modified basic strategy better and so forth. So the book is called Powerful Profits from Blackjack. It's available everywhere. In my latest book, the one that I just finished writing, called Casino Secrets, which is not yet published but will be shortly, I also outline simple strategies for blackjack. I mention how the high-low count works and so forth, but I realize that many casual blackjack players really don't want to invest so much into learning how to play that game that way. So what I've done is put out a really, really, really simple way of being able to play blackjack profitably, or at least lose less money than you would otherwise.
Fair enough.
Okay, so what was the next question?
That's it. We're out of questions.
Well, you know what? Today's show was supposed to be about Omaha 8 poker.
And we've been running for 40 minutes.
Yeah, we've been running for 40 minutes, and we never actually got to the Omaha 8 poker. So, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this episode Potpourri.
Potpourri. Love it.
And so we're going to pick up the discussion on Omaha 8 high-low split poker in our next program. And so for the time being, don't forget to subscribe to us if you're watching us on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Periscope. Also join me on Twitter. My handle is @GamingAuthor. Oh, thank you very much. Much appreciated. We like the hearts too. And so if you just log on to my website, morecasinodeals.com, for updates for our previous shows. Please look us up at LasVegasLiveTV.com, And so I guess we'll wrap it up for the show, and we'll pick up the Omaha 8 discussion in our next program. So until then, I'm Vegas with that Ziggy. Say goodbye, Ziggy.
Goodbye, Ziggy!
And we'll see you in the casino. So long. Hello, Vegas Vic back again. Thank you very much for watching our program. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It's very easy. Just click the subscribe button on your screen. It only takes a second, and then you'll be notified every time we post a video. You can also follow me on Twitter. My handle is @GamingAuthor. So until next time, I'll see you soon. So long.